hail from Malawi and South Africa given the responsibility in today's fixture as the players get into some sort of huddle and ask for divine intervention. This is the lineup for Gaborone United. We're looking at Amelo Peresi, who finds herself in goal, and Khoitsimang Tlama, as well as Khoilebane Selebatso. It is Busang on the right-hand side. Nancy Chipo in the middle of the park, but Yaone Baletse is another one of those players in the midfield. Yaone Modise up front is expected to connect with Maponga. And on the bench, absolutely capable and able bench that is to be able to add to the feat of Gaborone United. Well, this is the second team, that is UD Lichinga, and we see in goal it is Philo Musa, and you got Fernando Virginia, you've got Patricia Aron and Asane, not forgetting Delfina Caetano, Sina Filomena Manuel up front, Delicia Asane and Erika Daude. And that is the lineup that will do the business in today's encounter. On the bench, it's Irene Matope, as well as Joao and Janet Alindo. Marcelina Damula is another one of those players that can be called upon. Now, if you are really just wanting to get us or to understand or to see which team is which, and Gaborone United will get us off the center circle with the start of the game in their black uniforms and a bit of red trimming. They attacking the goal from the left to the right of your screen, and UD Chilinga are from the right to the left of your screen. Lots is expected from Gaborone United, who dethroned Double Action Sundowns in a much enthralling and interesting league fixtures as they dominated the Botswana League and were able to use the experience of the players that are on display. Just to share a couple of players, Yaone Modise is part of the national team that was called up recently. Gaone Ontlametsi is a known contributor to women's football in Botswana. In the middle of the park is UD Lichinga. UD Lichinga. Botswana will definitely come into this match using a 4-3-3 formation. Esther, with the 4-3-3 formation, what is your views on how they're approaching the match?
Well, Gaborone is using 4-3-3 formation, 4 defenders at the back, 3 midfielders and 3 strikers. They have number 20, who is a top goal scorer in 2024, who will actually frustrate the 2 strikers of Mozambique, Lichinga.
So there it is, as Gaborone United will be very patient in their build-up as they will go all the way to Tlamelo in the goals, who is very experienced and has a good communicator. Here's Gaborone having to defend, but they got to be careful with the 4 defenders because you're looking at a team that is really focusing on their pace. Players like Delia Caetano as well as Amelia Vasco will definitely be problematic on the wings. One thing that is certain, they are possession-based, is Gaborone United. They will keep the ball on the ground, which is the DNA of majority of the teams in Botswana, as they continue to dominate as well and grow in terms of their football. On the ball is Nancy Chipo Baeletse. Ball being switching play and onto the left-hand side. This is where Jessica Mapocha is quite a live wire and expecting the supply from the midfield. Ditebe Laoni Malloy is another one of those players that should combine well with Ontlametsi and Yaone Modise. A foul, and immediately Suzanne Joao Tiago is looking for the referee to assist in terms of protecting her. She will tell the referee, please protect me from the get-go. Bah. She's up and about, which is quite pleasing to see. Lichinga on the ball. It's a long ball. over the top of the halfway line, but this time possession given away, and it is Busang who collects it for Gaborone. He has a strike from distance and a beautiful interception as Ontlametsi gets an opportunity to pick a head up, seeing the space that has been created behind the defense, and takes a long shot in, and that is the first corner of the match.
First corner of the match, but in Lichinga side we have Fernando, who was in Costa del Sol in 2023.
Talking about Fernando, you have to draw onto experience as that ball goes over the byline, and a goal kick it is, and Philo Musa will look for a build-up from the back, just playing with 3 players at the back, 5 in the midfield for UD Lichinga. Perhaps a very dangerous ploy when you look at a Botswana side that thrives in attack. They have packed the midfield to make it difficult, and also making it difficult and trying to diffuse the situation is coach Jefferson Eduardo Banuma. Gaborone will take their time. They are normally slow starters, and sharing the ball at the back, but available is Busang on the left-hand side. But they go into the midfield, and that is where you'd find Yaone, you'll find Ditebe operating, and that ball just really going into touch, and it will give an opportunity to Yuri Lichinga to get a throw-in.
In Gaborone, we have Ditebe, who has a left foot, and she's very good at that. And she's been complemented by Maponga, number 7.
Well, when you look at Maponga and you look at Ditebe, those are players that have got the experience as well. And talking about left foot and right foot, we also have a very interesting player in Huitimang Ntlama, who can actually double up as a right back and a left back. But one will be very impressed with Hayo Yandwe, who is very, very industrious and also quite creative, and will be the one to look out for in this match. Quick 1-2 as we see Erika Daude on the ball. Not on the same page with Cecilia Miguel. Winning the ball back for Gaborone United is Jessica Maponga. Jessica Maponga spotting the run that is being made by Gaitumeti Ditebe. Ditebe, who loses a bit of ground, and you've got to compliment also the defending of Patricia Edron, who made sure that Ditebe doesn't get an opportunity to cross the ball. Basics applied at this moment, very, very early and to the letter, trying to close down Gaborone United on the wings, and not expecting them to cross the ball, because when they do cross, Yaone Modise is waiting for supply.
Waiting for supply indeed, but Lichinga has the 2 strikers that keep pushing forward by the help of the 5 midfielders that are pushing forward.
Goal kick. Fernando, one of 2 players on the pitch who played for Costa del Sol, and she brings with her the experience of the previous tournaments. This being the 4th edition of the CAF Women's Champions League in the qualifiers. Remembering that Mamelodi Sundowns have already booked their spot, running across the face of goal, unmarked, and eventually just losing out, maybe doing a little too much with the ball, but that is now setting the cats amongst the pigeon. Gaborone struggling to adapt to the pitch conditions. This is an artificial turf. Teams were given an opportunity to train and to warm up on this, to familiarize themselves.
Yes, indeed, to familiarize themselves. And as we can see, we don't have a lot of information from the both teams. We are yet to see what they're about to bring in the pitch.
Bubbling on the other end, newcomers in the tournament. They bring an element of surprise for everyone, as they both are debutants. When we talk about not having much information about the team, But that Esther will definitely make sure she gets that information as the tournament progresses. It's a throw-in. And debutants are really bringing much into this match. As we say, Gaborone United is a team that has slowly made waves in the Botswana leagues. Double action would definitely surprise, and that's how closely contested it is. When you look at double action, they were in the tournament, they were semi-finalists in 2021. They finished third in 2022, and in 2023 they were the losing finalists. They were runners-up, and that was to Mamelodi Sundowns, losing by 2-0. Chene Marife as well as Kunjula Mali getting onto the score sheet for a menacing Mamelodi Sundowns team. When we talk of the battle of Botswana and South Africa, it was not to be one of those that you can ignore, as the development of women's football has continued to thrive under the Football Federation in Botswana. Here's an opportunity for Lichinga. Ball to the right-hand side, header away, and that will give an opportunity to Ontlametsi to use the width of the pitch. Header away, pretty strong one indeed, and that ball won back by Delicia Asane. Lichinga on the ball, on the edge of the box, doing well to carry it through. Diminutive, and she takes a shot, but in the way, in a path. Taking one for the team is Busang. She took and felt the full flight and might of that ball, as the attempt from Lichinga was one that was looking for Cecilia Miga. Plays short, eliminating one defender in the box, cross in and away by Gaborone United. They have the numbers, is Lichinga. Ball in the air, finding the spaces, finding those pockets and trying to exploit them. He has the pace and, not giving up. Amelia Vasco seems to be a thorn in that defense. Vasco, but here's Gaborone. It's Nancy Chipo Bayaletsi on the edge of the box. She tried to sell a dummy, but good cover defense.
Good cover defense by Fernando from the Lichinga side. She has it covered, helping the goalkeeper that side.
Good communication from the goalkeeper, which is absolutely vital in moments of attack by the opposition, but it will be a throw-in. And this time it's Busang who takes a throw-in, a foul one. And at this level, with an average age of 27 for Gaborone United, one can look at and expect this team to continue to grow. Free kick. Offside call it was. Flag went up. A little late though. 12 minutes on the clock. Still Gaborone pressing, looking for the numbers. There's Yaone Modise, and they had to be quite decisive with the clearance. Sino Manuel, another former Costa del Sol player, been around. Still trying to get control of the midfield is Erica Duarte, losing out, but there's good communication. That bounce, goalkeeper's nightmare on artificial turfs, but they do ever so well. They've got to read it very, very carefully as Busang launches another attack on the right-hand side of Gaborone United. In the midfield, Ontlametsi getting her eye off the ball, and this just gives possession to Lichinga. Amelia shares the ball with Delia Caetano. Caetano comes all the way back to Joao Thiago. Thiago again goes out wide. We're seeing a lot of Amelia Vasco. It's a throw-in for Gaborone United. It's a little bit overcast. But one would say the conditions are favorable for the footballers. The heat can be quite demanding of the players' fitness. Yesterday we had a water break, and the heat stress machine being above 27. It's almost at 31 degrees, and there was a water break. Still pretty early in the day. Offside for Lichinga. Free kick it is. Fernando Virginia. She's looking for a runner. She's looking for Magal. She's looking for Matilda. It's Amelia Vasco who loses out to quite polished defending. When you look at the defensive structure of Gaborone United, they've kept some good spaces between the defenders. They've communicated well. There's always a player to sweep who tidies up. As that ball, it's a long one, looking for the pace. This time Ontlametsi is switching wings. To no man's land, but good to see. Delia made herself available, but Busang was very quick to diffuse the situation. Lichinga. Vasco goes backwards and tries and fouls Asane. It's in the air. The bounce is another problem, but Gaborone does well. Just to restore calm is Laone Moloi. Laone finds Jessica Maponga. Maponga plays it back, this time to Muchawe. Muchawe picks her head up, looks for Silibatse. Instead, she goes for Jessica Maponga. Maponga looking for the run made by Ontlametsi. That will result in a throw-in. Just the opening 15 minutes, you'd see a Botswana side that has settled into some sort of rhythm.
They have indeed settled in some sort of rhythm, and if you can see Gaborone, their defense is very good. They have Mochane, who they're depending on. She's good at shots, and she's been complemented with, in the center there, by Balietzi. Balietzi throwing the ball in the center, and on the left side we have Ditebi number 9, who is good and the left foot.
A foul, a free kick awarded to Gaborone United, and in quite an advanced position. It's a tackle that comes in from the side. Good to see that the game is played in a good spirit, and this time the responsibility is given to Keitumetse Ditebe. She has a very strong left foot, and also alongside her, if needed, you can get Laone Malloy. She can also pack a great, strong striker that should give the keeper. But it is Ditebe. Beautiful save. Philo Musa announced herself as the goalkeeper and will continue to contest. She'll make sure she keeps her team in this. Philo, she's just 23 years of age, Philo. Gives away a corner rather, but let's have a look at that very well-struck ball from Ditebe. Corner taken and very quickly. Doesn't find anyone in the box, but gets the last touch off a Lichinga player. Looked like Patricia. This time given another opportunity. And corner signal is up to hack it into the midfield. And it is another miss. That will go all the way for a throw-in. Is there a goal kick? From where we're sitting in the commentary booth, definitely looked at more of a throw-in. Philo Musa. She'll leave it for Erica Dawude. Very young, 18-year-old Erica Dawude. When we talk of football in Mozambique, this is definitely the platform. This is definitely the team that has got quite a lot of youngsters that are representing the under-20s, also at the under-17 level. More so, we're looking at building for the future. Mozambique had some credible players in Fernando, Cida Manuel. Ball out on the left-hand side, and this time Gaborone win it back. Again, you find Ditebe, another free kick. Closing down very, very quickly. This time almost in a similar position to the first one where the free kick is given.
Very similar, and as you can see, Gaborone is actually moving forward, and they're not giving room for Lichinga.
Well, we're seeing again Ditebe, and this time she has Machawe for company to get the free kick. And one would wonder, would it still be Ditebe given the responsibility, or would it be Machawe this time around? But they both look ready to take that free kick. It's a four-man wall, and the keeper still continuing to communicate with the defenders. Machawe, let's rip, and the wall does its job. There's a casualty in that moment, taking the full flight on the ball, just on the edge of the big box. As the medical team rushes on to the player. I think instructions are pretty clear that when a player gets a knock on the head,
when a player gets a knock on the head, they have to respond as soon as possible, because these kind of injuries can cause problems.
Well, on a lighter side, we'd look at that moment, and you don't want them to experience any load shedding. So referee is pretty spot on to call on to the medical team to react. That's Enes Gumbo, who so far has had not much to do. Enes Gumbo from Malawi. With 20 minutes on the clock, Gaborone United have had the better opportunities. UD Lichinga also trying to get into some sort of rhythm. Pickpocketed as Ditebe wins the ball back for Gaborone United. Here's UD Lichinga. Gaborone United stealing possession, and here is the pacey Gaborone Ontlameti. We've played right, try to take a strike, and maybe just close the eyes at the crucial moment is Ontlameti. Just as a former double action player is Gawendawiwe Ontlameti. Continuing to believe in the plan as Lichinga will pass the ball through the lines and look for the spaces. Intercepted. Modise. Lichinga trying to attack from their right-hand side. Again, Amelia Vasco, the player that full of tenacity, work ethic, absolutely credible.
Absolutely credible. As you can see, Gaborone United, they're actually playing in the unit.
Playing as a collective is very important. They share that ball, but more importantly, you've got to make the progress into the right areas. This time, we get to see a cross by Busang. Not that many numbers in the box. That's because UD Lichinga is playing that offside trap to great effect. Some lovely skill. And, carefully worked as Manuel is getting more and more involved. Is Sina Manuel.
Sina Manuel doing her thing, and she's showing that she is here and she is registered.
Very simple defending by Fernando. Virginia, Fernando. Throw in for Gaborone. This time, Celibatso gets the ball and looking for the spaces in the midfield. Does find the jersey number 10, Laone Moloi. Laone losing out. They have the numbers when they go defensively is Lichinga. Also, at the same time, when you're looking at Gaborone with the 4 disciplined players at the back, Busang, Celibatse, and Machawa. Not forgetting Khoisimang Kama. Good communicators. You can see that they have been playing together, going back to the under 17 or under 20s. They've combined well. The throw in. Ball kept in play. Ontlamet played backwards, but they need the runner. Not able to find anyone making those runs. This time, as Amelia gets the ball, Sina Manuel. One back by Ontlametsi for Gaborone United. It's a long ball, searching this time for a very busy Modise. Keeper comes out, was very quick to read the danger. And supported by Fernando, who allowed her defense to come back and support the keeper. They are being drawn in. Busang forced backwards all the way to goalkeeper Amelo Peresi. Laone finds a available Ditebe. She's one of the players that they definitely got to close down. She's been given too much of space and too much of room. Lichinga on the ball is Fernando. Fernando losing out, and you got to compliment Laone Moloi, who's more of your attacking midfielders, just playing on top of the pivot, using her creativity in the hope that she can open up a very, very determined defense that have packed with the numbers. On Tlamet. Here's a moment for Gaborone United. Forced out to the right as Modise whipping across. Keeper comes out, gets an important touch. Ball brought back into the center. However, it's Patricia who tidies up for Lichinga. First touch. It's not that good, but does recover very well. Played out to Caetano. Out wide on the right-hand side for Lichinga. She's forced to cut in. The midfield dominance of Baeletsi and Laone Moloi for Gaborone United, just to give them that balance. And here is Moloi on the left-hand side. She needs the numbers in the box, and disappointed at as she tried to cross. There's nobody to cross to. Very happy is Nancy to get that ball out of touch, which will allow her defenders and her teammates to come back and get the job done in terms of closing down a Lichinga side that looks exciting when making the inroads. Decent ball, good turn. Megaya. Kama, who applies the safety first.
Safety first, you have to protect the goal and look out for the goalkeeper as well. For this is the crucial area.
While we're talking about throw-in and safety first, we are also talking about defensive principles that will make sure and make it difficult for the attacking team to find the space, a space that is all being whipped into the box. Kindly Tiago, who is that pivot in the midfield for Lichinga. Captain Patricia. Here's Gaborone United. Again, going out to the left-hand side where Ontlametsi is operating. She needs a good cross as Ontlametsi. But again, you've got to give credit to the defense, forcing her to bring the ball onto her favored right foot. Ditebe. Tiago. Sina Manuel, who gets an important touch, is a player who is flat on the ground. One would look at this, you wonder whether it is exhaustion, you wonder whether there was a challenge, but it didn't look like there was any challenge as the player just went down and flat on her back, and the medical team is immediately attending to her.
A medical team attending to her to find out what really is wrong, what happened there, because she went down all alone on the pitch.
Here is Ditebe, and then just holding her head, and then she just fell down. There was no malice on the challenge by Sina Manuel, and hence the concerns as also the stretcher is ready. Seemed just making sure that the player is very conscious of what is happening around. Let's have a look at this one more time. She gets a tackle. She's going to collect the ball. And then as she does that, she holds her head behind and she goes down. Definitely some concerns from the player. And they have the opportunity to look at the bench and, if needed, bring in other the substitutes. When you're looking at Gaborone United, you've got Palesa Mokopoti, you've also got Sechawe, you've really got Catherine Pete, who could come in and give Gaborone United the very same, if not a little bit more, impetus in that position.
Just to highlight on Sina Manuel, she was part of the team that finished third in last year's bronze medals, which they beat Green Buffaloes with Costa do Sol.
Well, Sina's got an abundance of experience. She's also part of the Mozambican national team. Caution, as the referee just blowing for a high-footed challenge. The guilty party is Jessica Maponga. A free kick to Lichinga. A long ball. A very hopeful ball. Sina Manuel. Good control. But again, when you have company, it's just made, simple things are made rather difficult. Then that's what pressure does. Delia Caetano giving chase. She'll win a throw in for Lichinga.
So far, it's a flowery football, and that's not what the teams need right now, because those 3 points are very important.
Flowing, one would look at it and probably expect that the teams have now found their rhythm. The teams have now realized some of the weaknesses and the strength. The coaches are definitely preparing themselves for the halftime talk. It's still early though, and a strong foot in, to no malicious intent, as referee Enes Gumo stops play momentarily, wants the free kick to be taken. In the right spot. When you're playing with 5 players in the midfield, it does create a bit of a numerical advantage. One is seeing that with Lichinga. However, still control with the strength of Baeletse and Laone Moloi, as well as Ditebe. They seem to be very pivotal in the attack of Gaborone United. Continuing a run is Busang on the right-hand side. It's a cross that is needed in the box. However, A bit of pushing spotted by the referee. Free kick is given immediately. When you have your right back or left back taking the balls as a goal kick, it does minimize the numbers in going forward at times. Maybe a build-up is better to set the foundation for the attack. Doing that ever so well is Gaborone, keeping the ball in play. Is Busang quite conscious of her whereabouts? Into the middle, Bayaletsi is really connecting those passes and dictating the midfield. Player down, clash of heads. Clash of heads, and this one definitely looks like everybody's concerned as the two players went up for the same ball, clashed. Flat on their back, the medical team is really busy as both players have their eyes firmly focused on the ball, but you're looking at Nancy, who takes the full might from the header there.
The header that entered into an injury. We're about to see.
A signal is given to the bench. It's a thumbs up. Being quickly panel beated. She's got to get back into business. So when the medical team gives a thumbs up, it's usually a very good sign and a very good moment for the coach, who doesn't have to disrupt his plans, because very often you get these injuries that force changes. And, the plan is then having to be revisited as the players are warming up and hoping, if called upon, they're quite ready.
The medicals still checking on the two players that went down. The medicals there trying to find out, can you continue the play, or we should consult the coach?
Well, they have to ask that question, Esther, that, you want to make sure that the player is okay first before really worrying about the result. And we get to see a Nancy whom will know very much how much this means to her and to the team. Here are some of the dignitaries who are observing this match. Ms. Brenda Kunda of Zambia, very influential in women's football, and the TSG, who have been put through their paces throughout this tournament, the referees who are responsible for this fantastic tournament. As they continue to build the referees on the edge of the box. Here is Gaborone to strike, creating something from nothing. Jessica Maponga reminding the fans who are here at this venue what they came for, which is to see goals.
To see goals indeed, and Musa was late when that ball passed through the ball.
Goal kick. Goalkeeper Musa will leave that for Fernando. She hoofs it forward. Caetano losing out. Possession turnover. Good skill from Gaborone, but eventually losing out, doing a little too much. Perhaps just a quick release would have helped the players, as Ontlametse was available in acres of space. The dominance of Gaborone on the ball evident, but failing to really make use of that ball in the final third. Ball out to the left-hand side. Giving chase is Hoisimang. And here is Maponga trying to stretch her stride. Keeper was very quick off a line, reading that danger.
Maponga
handball in the mix of things.
Maponga has great stamina, as you can see with the way she's moving forward. When she has the ball, she takes it forward, straight to the ball.
Bosang looking for availability of a teammate on the edge of the blocks, but it is Lichinga who so far have done well to get the numbers in defense. Daoud Ditebe, goalkeeper Peresi. All the way back to Busang. Celabatso. Celabatso brings in Muchawe. Muchawe sends another long ball in search of Maponga. Maponga is closed down very quickly. Here's Gaborone and has made some good ground, but some tenacious defending as Delisha Asane, who's one of the three defenders that is poised in that right back position for Lichinga. Chawe, player down. This time the referee will probably need to talk to Muchawe. The physicality is definitely very clear, strong, but good sportsmanship or good spirit that this game is being played. As we have a look, it was an elbow that went into the face of Thiago. Nice to see the apologies coming through. Defense so far winning all the high balls. It's a table tennis match that is ensuing. Ping pong, if you like. And Amelo Peresi brings an end to that, and he'll want to maybe send a long ball forward. But I think the instructions is pretty clear from Coach Khalid Nyanzima, who is wanting the team to consistently build from the back. We now know that many of the teams in this tournament are looking at building from the back. Your number 10 coming from your central defensive areas. Good play on the right-hand side. Cross in. Oh, equal to the task is Muchawe. And the crowd appreciating that cross, a rare move. But here is another strike. This time Thiago connecting very well, but doesn't get that on target.
Doesn't get it on target, but it was necessary to try.
There's a strong wind, and with 40 minutes on the clock, Esther, what has been your views about the game? What has been your observation when you're looking at the key players that were highlighted, but just generally the play that we see?
So far, we can say that the game is going in slow, play by play. They are trying to find where they can penetrate. The defense from both sides is good, but all we need is 3 points from either of the teams. So they need to improve on pushing forward.
Talking about pushing forward, is both teams failing to make use of that final third? And at the moment, we're finding a free kick to Gaborone United. Looks like Ontlametsi given the responsibility to take the set piece. They have the numbers in the box to aim for, but there's also the red shirts, 6 red shirts, 7 red shirts, and the goalkeeper as well. Good communication from the goalkeeper, who's making sure that she commands that area. That is necessary. Ball in, missed by everybody, including the goalkeeper. Goal kick.
That was very close. Musa didn't see that one coming. She was actually depending on Fernando.
Well, Fernando is the experienced defender, and she too missed that one. But one can look at Gaborone United and say maybe they can play it a little bit different, mix it from the court, play a short corner, and maybe bring in an element of surprise. On Tlametsi, throw in. Muchawe will bring it back. for Gaborone United. And then they're looking for the pace of Modise. Yaone Modise is under pressure, but does well to just shield that ball and allow the goalkeeper the time to come off a line and collect rather comfortably. Delicia Asane, she's one of the oldest players in the side, Delicia Asane. She's 30 years of age, still going very strong. Contribution to women football, absolutely notable. Creating and bringing the balance of youth and exuberance. Erika Ujaude. Another free kick. This time goalkeeper Philo Musa is organizing. She's very vocal as Musa, and you can hear how she gives the instructions to her players. Whilst you're looking at Gaborone on the other side, they decide to bring in some creativity and try something different.
They had to try something different, looking at the way the defense was when you talk about Lichinga there.
It's played short on the right-hand side where Asane operates. Asane closed down and pressing high is Gaborone United, forcing the errors from Lichinga. Throw in. Bayaletsi, throw in. Available is Laone Moloi. The option is to go down the line and search of Maponga. Maponga does well. Quick 1-2 and search of a very strong Ditebe. Ditebe is forced backwards due to the numbers. Good defending by Lichinga. They've got the numbers on the left-hand side is Amelia Vasco. Amelia Vasco brings in Delia Caetano. Caetano putting the pressure. Keeper comes out. 3 minutes being added by the referee Ines. 3 minutes for either side to break the deadlock as the coaches prepare for their speeches during the halftime. So very encouraging. Strike that's taken. Keeper makes a hash of it, but recovers on a second attempt. A bounce of the ball quite deceiving. Ontlametsi, who proves to be the danger. That shot coming from distance. Ontlametsi was available to see if she could capitalize on the spillage.
That was a close call, and the keeper did expect that one to end up in between her goal.
Another offside in favor of Lichinga. The assistant referees immediately puts a flag up, does well. Ontlametsi, former double action. She wasn't going to miss out on the action in Malawi. Using her height to great effects is Tlama. Keeper comes out, gets the bounce, and she just gets a touch. Keeper off the line, if spotted very quickly by Caetano. I think it's an opportunity missed. She could have just headed that ball back for Lichinga. Keeper on the other end also comes out and nearly makes a hash of it. So there's a abundance of errors, calamities by both goalkeepers, but good recoveries nevertheless. One bounce. Keeper again giving the instructions. She's very quick off the line. I like her handling as Philo. The ball is sent forward, and this time Jaude looking to launch an attack as Emmanuel, who loses out, selling a dummy in the middle of the park. Laone Moloi putting the pressure on, and a foul it is for Mochawe.
A foul it is, but it was necessary. Looking at the defense.
Yes, you're right. She had to stop that attack because she was left alone to defend, and all you got to do is hold that ball.
And she had to protect the goal and the goalkeeper as well.
Free kick for Lichinga. An opportunity to get a good strike at goal, and it's the experience of Virginia Fernando, former Costa del Sol player, to hack this one in the back of the net. But also, Sina Manuel is asking for service and giving instructions. Mochawa has got to be careful. She's been warned a number of times by the referee. Fernando up against Peresi. And Peresi says, bring them on. It's really made to look easy. And referee Enes brings an end to the first 45 minutes, played pretty much at a reasonable pace. The players not exerting themselves. They know they've got another 45 minutes to come out yet again and strout their stuff in this beautiful pitch. It's an artificial turf, but again, when you look at the two sides, a dominance by Gaborone United, who have been absolutely clinical in terms of keeping that possession, finding the lines, and making sure that they share possession around them. On the other hand, Lichinga, who have been disruptive. They haven't had that much possession, but when they do get the ball, it's quite pleasing to see the explosiveness in trying to launch an attack of their own. And the referees had a quiet day at the office. We confirm the half-time break to Gaborone United 0 and UD Lichinga 0. Let's have a look at some of the highlights in the first half. It was Gaborone United getting the first opportunity, and Ontlametse, who took a strike but was protected by Patricia, and they went on yet again. As another attempt, this time Modise trying to whip in a decent cross. Keeper does well to keep a line, as the scoreline just confirms the first half that didn't have that many opportunities. So Lichinga working very hard, as Modise yet again losing out. But one's got to look at great defending by Patricia, as she closes down on an effort there by Maponga. So Maponga, who was quite instrumental on the wings, wasn't able to get her shot on target. Keeper in that moment making a little bit of a hash and making the hearts race rather frantically of her coach, but does recover in a vital moment. Keeper again called into action, but this time Philo Musa been making up a lot of ground to make sure that Modise doesn't get a shot at that. Well, with the fans that have been at the stadium right now, it's an opportunity for them to take a break, and so will we. But do join us in the second half. Welcome back to the second half. If you are just joining us, you haven't missed much of the action as the scoreline still remains 0-0. No one breaking that deadlock, but the better chances definitely falling to the team from Botswana, that is Gaborone United. Crowd that is coming are hoping that they will get to see some of the goals. Remember that the school is out here in Malawi, as the majority of the youngsters that are in attendance to watch these games for free are out on a school break. Therefore, they are really given that opportunity to watch some of their idols. They are given an opportunity to watch some of their favorite players, because they are very close to them. But having a look at UD Lichinga, who would look at this and say they've got it up their sleeves, and it is to their advantage due to the fact that they were told that they were going to be taken to the cleaners. However, they've stood firm. They've made sure that they've worked as a collective. They've made sure that they've diffused the attacks from Gaborone United. And they too have had the opportunity to ask questions of goalkeeper Tumelo Peresi. There have been no changes made thus far that we are spotting, but as the game progresses, we'll share if we do pick up a couple of changes. It is Lichinga from Mozambique that are attacking the goal, this time from the left to the right. They are in the red uniforms, a bit of white trimmings and white stockings. And the Gaborone United are attacking the goal from the right to the left. And they are in the black uniform with a little bit of red trimmings. Trying to pick up from where they left off is Ontlametsi. She's really been the live fire. Dummy there by Jessica Maponga, but not able to be effective on that occasion. Philo builds from the back. Good to find the space by Caetano on the left-hand side. It is a Lichinga side that is fairly new to this competition, making their debut. A disappointing ball coming from Yaone Modise. Should have maybe picked her head up as she continues to look for that elusive goal. Throw in the referee, Enes Gumbo wants the throw in to be taken again. This time going all the way back where they're pretty comfortable is Gaborone United. Celebatse and Mchawe, very pivotal and good in control in conducting the orchestra in that defense. Going all the way back, bringing the goalkeeper in, Tumelo Peresi. Want to maybe ask questions that, and reminding her that she's not on holiday. Tumelo Peresi, who hasn't been tested yet in this match, but possesses some good height. Has got a lot of strength in attacking the balls on the ground. The moment, a stop-start as Lichinga are looking for the outlets on the left-hand side, playing with a 3-5-2 formation, looking for the numerical advantage of the midfield is Lichinga. Manuel, Daude, Caetano, Thiago and Vasco operating in that midfield. One is expecting to see much more of Vasco. Seems to be swallowed up in the midfield. And Caetano to make those darting runs. But here's a chance for Yaone. He's certainly offside. Acres offside.
All along offside, and the flag is up.
Happiness Badambanda, who is officiating on the far right-hand side of the field, was very quick to pick up a flag. Oh, nicely done by Erika Daude. Maponga, strong challenge. Referee doesn't like it. Players are struggling to adapt. Ditebe Itumetsi, who was a concern in the first 45 minutes, just going down and holding her head. But good to see that she's able to dust off those concerns, and she's back in the action. She's got some lovely height and a good foot, as that decent ball has gone over the top, Yaone. But brilliant defending by Patricia. Very calm. Rather hacks that ball away and gives away the corner. It was some concerning moments, but it's played short and quickly by Gaborone United. Keeper gets a hand to it, doesn't get control, and here's a chance that's gone a-begging for Gaborone United. Keeper did enough to diffuse the situation, and disappointed will be players around Maponga, who had a chance to get a team in the lead. In actual fact, Nancy also looking, but look at this ball. It was a nice ball, a good cross. Keitumetse bringing it into the area that it's most welcome, but not too many black jerseys to aim for. Again, it's another chance. This time the Woodwork coming to the rescue, and nobody knew anything about that ball. And goalkeeper Philo does well to be observant and quickly recover. So two close chances from Gaborone United, playing to a very, very calm pace. Khailemone Celebatso. Throw in, and this time Matilda is the player that is just forced out. Matilda throw in is taken and intercepted almost immediately by Gaborone United, but here is Lichinga losing out, trying to recycle the ball yet again is Delia Caetano. Caetano will take the throw in. A little bit more of energy levels here in the second half, and the referee Gumbo giving the free kick and wanting it taken at the right spot, just really instilling the discipline in the players. Doesn't want the ball to roll, so it needs to be stationary before you take it. That free kick. Oh, that was an important interception by Lichinga. Fernando does well to dispossess Maponga, but again, goalkeeper Tlamelo Perez is quick off the line, but intercepted by Thiago. Pine in the midfield is Lichinga.
She had to clear that out of the way. So far, we are witnessing fluid passing from Lichinga's side.
Lichinga will definitely get a little bit more composed in here in the second half. They've come out a lot more purposeful. Here's an opportunity again for Gaborone United, and that is Keitumetse Ditebe, who finds herself with acres of space. If only she can, get the extra touch, push the ball a little bit more, get into those spaces. And good 1-2, however, some confusion. Here's a chance and good recovery. Patricia does well for Lichinga. Throw in, wanting to stay in the opposition half. It's Jessica Maponga. Maponga delivers a quality ball. The defense still quite solid. High boot there, but the referee is very delayed in blowing the whistle, but wanted to see how the player responds. And it looks like Celebatso, who took a size 6 in the face.
That must have hurt. Likely the medical team in this game, they're rushing. They're quick to respond whenever a player is down.
Well, they should respond and make sure that the player's welfare is taken care of. But one can look at that moment and say that Cecilia Miguel had no intentions of malice. Again, the thumbs goes up and quite positive as Celebatse is up on her feet and ready to get back into the action. Well, just to recap yesterday, we did have 5 goals scored.
Yes, 5 goals scored yesterday. It was really, really wonderful. We had the first team that participated, Harinto Queens, scored 3 goals. And then later on, we witnessed 2 more goals from the other sides, from FC Ongos, who tried to take the team back in play. But then we witnessed a beautiful goal from Green Buffaloes, who scored at the second half, at the time when everybody had lost hope.
There's a free kick for Lichinga. Fernando given the responsibility to whip a decent ball, bring in the quality. They've got the numbers. 5 players to aim for in the red jersey, but this one went directly to goalkeeper Tlamelo Peresi. Amelia, one of the 2 players that are operating as a wing-back, showing good energy. She has another opportunity to help defensively and also help in attack. Same responsibility given to Delia Caetano. Laone Molloy on the edge of the box is Gaborone. However, dispossessed. And dispossessed was Ontlameti. The referee also spotting the use of the hand in that moment. It's 55 minutes gone. And still 0-0 the scoreline at the Mpira Stadium. Crowd are slowly trickling in. Maybe getting ready for the humdinger of the match that is later on at 3 p.m. We're talking about the home side that will be doing duty, and they definitely are a team that is talked about. They call it the future of Malawian football. Some youngsters that are about to give lessons to those who doubt them, and that is Ascent Academy. They will be up against Young Buffaloes from Eswatini. That is the match at 3 p.m. today. So if you are from in and around Malawi, Blantyre, you need to make your way to the stadium. There's some bumper-to-bumper action that is in store for you. Getting back to the pitch on the edge of the box, hacked away by Muchawe. Gaborone United. And that ball just getting a deflection and going all the way back to Tlamelo Peresi. Intercepted by Patricia Arone. With the dominance of Gaborone United playing with 4 players at the back, one would look and hope that they could push a player into the midfield and maybe revert to a 3-4-3 formation, because they definitely seem to have a very good and strong defensive structure. And if they can pack the midfield, maybe it can give them what they're looking for. Offside call yet again on Tlamezi. She has the pace, and maybe if she can just hold her run a little bit more, just delay the run, get behind the defense. On the ball is Ditebe. Anywhere will do for Lichinga. Experience of Manuel. 31 years of age is Manuel. Laone Molloy is dispossessed, but fortunately enough, the cover play or support play from Gaborone is quite impressive. Decent ball, giving chase. Keeper comes out, makes a mistake on Tlamezi. Fantastic defending by Fernando.
Fernando was there just at the right time when the goalkeeper made that mistake. She thought she could save that one, but she was out of play, and the defense was there just in time to save that goal.
Ontlamezi had the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net, and a good run, a defense-splitting pass there, and presence of mind to try and get the ball over the keeper, who had given up hope, but found a Virginia Fernando in a mean mood to defuse that situation and deflect that for a throw-in. Good cover defense by Fernando.
Well, G, this continues to be a game of halves, meaning a goalless game.
Well, a game of two halves. This time you are seeing a more determined Lichinga side that are also trying to connect a few passes and look for the spaces. But again, as expected, it is Gaborone that are piling on the pressure, playing a little bit with the high line and looking at the numbers they've got in the box and the support play. Another high ball. Keeper comes out. Wasted opportunity as Jessica Maponga gets a touch. Should have simplified and could have simplified. Maybe the decision making of Jessica Maponga there is one she would rue and wonder if she could have done something differently. I think she could have just opened her body, received it on the chest as the keeper was beaten, and could have just placed it. As this game reaches the 1 hour mark, it is Gaborone forced back, and to restore some calm, Tama finds her goalkeeper who is available. It's another opportunity for Maponga to use the left-hand side. Lichinga. That ball to no man's land, comfortably into the hands of Tlamelo Peresi. In the midfield for Gaborone United, it is Ditebe. Pickpocketed by Delicia Asane. Virginia Fernando has been ever present in that defense. Throw in for Gaborone United. Maponga. It's one back as time Tiago comes into the equation. Matilda finds Caetano. Caetano playing 1-2 as a foul on Sina Manuel. This free kick will be given. Referee Enes Agumbo just making sure that Sina has taken, is receiving or is asking if she's okay. Does she want the medical team to be brought onto the field? And good to see Sina Manuel up and about. And the yellow card is given to Jessica Maponga. The first yellow card of the match?
First yellow card of the match, and unfortunately it goes to Jessica, who is dominant when it comes to Gaborone United team.
She is dominant in the very offensive areas, taking the ball and wanting to score, creating opportunities for her teammates. But right now she's got some defending to do. It is a two-man wall. That is to close the angle on the goalkeeper's left-hand side. That is Tlamelo Peresi. And, eager to take the strike is the experienced Virginia Fernando. Fernando, referee, plays according to whistle. And Fernando, she'll whip that ball into the box and hope that one of her players can leap on to it. But ever alert, Mochawe does well to give away a corner instead. It's a corner to Lichinga. União Desportiva. We just abbreviated to UD Lichinga. Corner. Virginia given the responsibility. Corner taken. Decent ball. Keeper comes out. Oh, that looked so simple. But did well to leap highest. She's got a commander area as a goalkeeper. And again, making it look so simple. Well, for this tournament, remember the record-breaking 2023 was 52 goals. Keeper comes out, sweeps that. 52 goals scored in by Mamelodi Sundowns. We also then look at the biggest victory of the tournament. And we'll recall the 8-0, which was a Mamelodi Sundowns playing against Olympic di Maroni. That was a complete demolition.
That was a complete defeat, and it started with the 2-0 in the first half. From nowhere in the second half, players of Mamelodi Sundowns just started flying balls in the goal of the opponents.
Two changes that are being made by Lichinga. So 3 changes made by coach Jefferson Eduardo, and these are all midfield changes as well as up front. And, as you looking at Eduardo, who really ran his socks off, not forgetting Delfina Caetano as well in the midfield, operating on the right-hand side, and a fresh pair of legs. The coach really throwing the gauntlet and hoping that it will pay dividends. Jessica Maponga. That ball taking an awkward bounce as Gaborone pile on the pressure. Looking for those mistakes. Anywhere will do. This will allow Lichinga to get their defensive structure, to get the number of personnel to join in the defensive responsibility. Corner for Gaborone United. Melinda Khariete and Irene Lungu, Irene from Green Buffaloes, who can be another player to increase her goal tally in the CAF Women's Champions League. She's got a total of 5 goals to her name, is Irene Lungu. Yesterday, we got to see glimpses of what she can do, but it was pretty much a tight match between Green Buffaloes and UWC. The action today is proving to be a difficult one, as both debutants are finding the goings rather difficult, well organized, well structured, and diffusing the opportunities that are being created by either side.
They are so far so good. They are trying their best. The only thing that's remaining is now it's the strikers for number 6 to create and facilitate a goal.
Good control. Jessica Maponga losing out. Decent ball. Here's a chance for Lichinga. Quite a live wire is Miguel. Celia Miguel fighting and making sure she defends from the front. Seems to be grimacing in a bit of pain is Celia Miguel. Ball of the bounce of the ball just being a little deceiving. Here's a header away by Gaborone United, who have a male team as well that have dominated football in Botswana. Gaborone United over the years, but hasn't there been a shift, as we see a shift in women's football as well? Double Action, who are normally the representing team for Botswana, they were dethroned by Gaborone United this time around, making their debut appearance at this tournament or at these qualifiers. Played in the form of 2 groups, a Group A and a Group B, and this is day 2 in which we get to see Group B. I'm sure the managers of either side will look to navigate some positive results. Tiago dilly-dallying on the ball. Delicia. On Tlametsi. She doesn't have the supply, but she seems to be in trouble, and holding her legs is on Tlametsi, has pulled up the socks all the way up, and a throw-in it is. Sama will play the 1-2, however, good decision being made this time as Mochawe decides she doesn't want to put a team any sort of bother and sends that ball away from the defensive area in the middle of the park. It's Laone Molloy. Molloy sends a ball to the right-hand side and in search as Modise gets an opportunity, but losing out as she loses control of that ball.
The defense were actually caught sleeping in the moment. Anything could have happened there if the striker had found a way through the goal.
Another bounce. Giving away a throw in. 70 minutes on the clock. The ball girls all dressed nice in their pink, ready and available to help the game to flow. Throw in taken. Tlama. Ball in, whipped into the box. It's really difficult to find the spaces as the numbers continue to be a problem to deal with. Amelia Vasco dropping down, Delia Caetano also dropping into the back as that attempt will continue being a bagging as the assistant referee Happiness picks a flag up for the offside. The number of offsides that Gaborone United have is about 6 thus far. Could just hold their run because they are blessed with the pace of Ontlametsi as well as Mponga. Very calm, threading that ball. Helped on by Hoisemang. Momentum of Gaborone United. Left behind, the keeper comes out. One bounce, keeper comes out, and that ball gives us the goal that we wanted. And it is Modise. However, the offside flag is up. The offside flag is up. But it was a wonderful ball that was whipped in to the box. And unfortunately, not judging herself, realizing that it was an offside. She is rather disappointed. Yaone Modise coming unmarked from the right hand of Gaborone United. They'll want to continue where they left off as Keitumetsi is loses out to a defense. Fernando just making sure she holds that ball with her feet, and the keeper says, the referee says that is not allowed. It is not allowed. Another ball. Decent ball. This time it's hanging in the air. Yaone gets a touch. And giving chase is Leano Busang. Pickpocketed. And, another effort by Lichinga. Can they make use of this break attack? Sina Manuel is brought down right in front of the eyes of the referee. Free kick to Lichinga. She'll take her time about launching that attack. She has 5 red shirts to aim for in the opposition half. Very easy pickings for Gaborone United. And now, having 3 defenders to deal with is Ditebe. Here's a chance for Lichinga. Ball is kept in play, but very good defending, businesslike. And offside as the flag goes up on the far corner. As Delicia Asane, the player who played that very well. Well, another yellow card this time for Gaborone United as Bayeletsi throwing some caution to that midfield. Once a player gets a yellow card, she definitely doesn't play with the fluidity. I spoke about Ontlametsi, who was holding her legs, and she's actually gone down. Out of your picture is Ontlametsi, and holding her legs, trying to stretch. But the game continues. And let's just share that the referee or the opposition team doesn't have to throw the ball out or kick the ball out, rather, as the referee would wait to call the medical team. And, she's really struggling with some cramps and creeping highest, and as she lands, she looked rather uncomfortable. And the way she went down, and she's just asking for the assistance as a stretcher comes on and takes her off. So the fair play, continuing the play, was Lichinga, rightfully so. Being stretched off is Ontlametsi. She's been a very busy player and one of the outlets for Gaborone. In actual fact, that was one of the players that we thought would be the one to get the goal. And, a change being made. I'm sure Ontlametsi is the player to be replaced. We'll confirm that. Change is ready to happen for Gaborone United. Remember that each team has the luxury of using 5 substitutes. And if the game goes into extra time, they can add another player into the mix. And in the knockout stages, the semi-finals, there's straight penalties, extra time will be penalties, and extra time if the teams cannot be separated in 90 minutes or 120 minutes. Right now it's pretty much a point system in the group stages, and that is the confirmation of Ontlametsi. Magaga. And as the substitute was taking place, an opportunity where goalkeeper Tlamelo Peresi stifled a chance for Lichinga. She made sure when called upon, she does the goods, she does deliver. It's quite lanky and commanding in her area is Tlamelo Peresi. Magaga, who's just got on to the field, gets her first touch, and one that sends a message to the goalkeeper. In the midfield, some good work, Laone Malloy. Malloy sends that ball up front, but good defending as Patricia gets the ball away from her defensive third in search of Sino Manuel. In the air, good control from Emilia Vasco. A sharing of the ball by Gaborone. I really don't like the high balls as Gaborone. Some good defense, some very composed defending from Celebatso. The race is on. This time, Maponga switching flanks. Tiago. She's available, is Tiago, playing the 1-2 with Emmanuel. decides to chase that ball. Runs out of room as Sina Manuel. He's given the captain's armband. Experience speaks aplenty for Sina Manuel. Also part of the Mozambican national team with 31 years of age. Still got a lot to give to the game. One bounce. In the air. Lack of communication between the three players of Lichinga. Still doing well to come away with it. One of the three changes made by the coach of Lichinga, that is Jefferson. Here's Gaborone, ball in the box, and good handling. Keeper Musa does well to get down and smother that ball, but a lovely cross. Yaone Modise doing well. It's crosses like that you need to maybe capitalize on, but the support for Yaone with the ball was very slow in coming. Again, you also had to be cautious in terms of the defending. A slight touch in that box. Eugenio is the player. Eugenio. She's one of the three changes made by the coach. Mulangane, the other, who's come in the midfield. Ball definitely being played a lot in the midfield. Eugenio is trying to play the 1-2, doesn't get the return ball. And Joao, another one as the offside flag. Just 10 minutes to go to the 90. Still 0-0. The opportunities, or the better opportunities, falling to Gaborone United. Preparing for another change is Lichinga, and out of your picture. Baeletsi. Good control by Thiago. The referee allowing the change to happen. And this is a little bit concerning because Eugenio came on moments earlier, but I think the injury to her ankle has forced the coach to make another change. And she's running rather gingerly, is Eugenio. Mochanga is the player to come on. Is 24 years of age, is Mochanga. Been part of the players who've developed the game, who's, started the club, Lichinga. Very influential. Gaborone United send a long ball. The bounce, a rather awkward one. Ditebe on the ball, lays it back for Yaone, and unable to get that on target is Yaone, but also having to deal with the windy conditions. "82 minutes, it's anyone's game, but who wants it more can exert the pressure on, and you also would want the players to focus. This is critical phases of the match where you've got to look after the ball, defend with confidence, attack with more purpose. Gaborone, Yaone on the ball. The keeper comes out and a foot up. Referee's whistle is immediate as Magaga went in full throttle. Referee asking Philo, is she okay? And she says, no, I'm not. Therefore, the medical team being summoned on. But she's had a decent day at the office. Her performance, what do you think of it?
So far, so good. And that has just proven that she has taken one for the whole team. She's well coordinated with her defense as well. And she's on point. Whenever the ball is coming her way, she tries to get it in the way or to pass it.
Goalkeeper making sure that first things first is get control of the ball and then deal with the pain later. And, her defense is absolutely complimentary of the work that she's done. Fernando, Asane, Vasco now and then dropping a little deep. Caetano coming in to assist every now and then. And Coach Jefferson is still giving those instructions to his players. And, the touchline, being a young team that has come into this tournament, making their debut, they'll definitely be growing as the tournament progresses. On the other hand, for Gaborone United, the coach talking to Keitumetse Ditebe, wants a lot more from her. Running into trouble is Laone Moloi. Good control, Alicia. Here's Lichinga. Manuel going to her right-hand side. Caetano, Tiago. And that ball just goes to no man's land. Comfortable and easy for the goalkeeper, Peresi. 5 minutes to go to the 90. Plus referee's optional time. It's a drop ball given to Lichinga. Intercepted very quickly as Juliana Joao takes control, loses her footing. So the coach refreshing the team with the 3 changes made. Matilda, Dauda and Caetano having left the pitch for Lichinga. Very offensive players that he's brought on, hoping to change the complexion of the match with fresh legs, attacking maybe a tired defense, who are proving to be a very tough nut to crack. The coach having done a lot of work to Lichinga, defending as a unit, getting the numbers back. But here's a chance for Gaborone United, a decent ball, but the keeper quick off a line and an offside call. Fantastic work done by the assistant referee, Happiness. Banda. Intercepted by Violet. Control needed. Instead, trying the bicycle kick to bring it into the goalkeeping box. Execution just letting her down. Three minutes to go to the 90. Here's a chance for Gaborone. It's Magaga who's come on. Does well to reach that ball, showing her pace, and eventually losing out as that ball just trickles over the byline. And goal kick it is. It's a goal kick for Lichinga. Patricia sends another long ball, intercepted in the midfield. Tiago has been quite instrumental in that midfield. There's another opportunity for Gaborone. Keeper, lack of communication there. Keeper almost in 6s and 7 as Busang sends a long ball. Down goes Busang. And a free kick to Gaborone. She'll take a time about getting up, but she's been helped up to her feet by Keitumetsi Ditebe. Each and every match produces a player of the match. And for you at home, who do you believe is the player of the match? There's been quite a few players that have been impressive in this particular game. And make no mistake, the two debutants have cancelled each other out. As we reach the 90th minute, you've once got to focus in these crucial moments of the match keeper. Does well, collects, and she breaks the momentum of that ball, but she's been really good in this match for Lichinga. I'm sure for Gaborone United they will be a lot disappointed, as so much was expected from this team from Botswana, who play some wonderful football, putting the ball on the ground in that particular moment. It's bobbling in the air, skidding off the boot of Tama. Sina Manuel, supported by Amelia Vasco. She's still giving chase and full of running. Is Amelia Vasco making it rather difficult as she wins a throw-in for União Desportiva Lichinga. Three minutes are added. 3 minutes are added by the referee. 3 minutes for probably either side who wants it to get that goal. But for the moment, there's some defending to be done. And a corner it is. Or is it a corner? It looks like a throw-in. Gaborone United have got the numbers. It is a corner. The coach giving the instructions to switch on. It's played short. Is Sidilia on the edge of the box and toe poked with the hope that it will find the back of the net. Here is Amelia Vasco. A chance here to steal it at the depth. And, whoa, an unfortunate situation for Joao, who stepped on that ball. Had she managed to get control of that ball, she could have maybe put the ball in the back of the net. Is Joao. Have a look at this. Did well to stay on side that ball. She tried a back heel. And unfortunately for Lichinga, that ball, just stepping on the ball, could have even injured herself in that moment. On the opposite end, goalkeeper comes out, makes a save. This time, a beauty off the woodwork and a brilliance from Laone Molloy. That would have been a painful one to concede in the 92nd minute. Keitumetsi. We spoke about the critical phases of the match. We spoke about the last 3 minutes of who wants it more. We had action on the one end and again action on the other end. This is the beauty. A shot in, the woodwork coming to the rescue. Keeper knew nothing about that. There's another chance and the ball played. It was a touch. And the entire bench of Gaborone United wanting that as a playback for a free kick, and it's not to be. Hands on the hip by Aone Modise. She knows how close she's come. Away, anyway, will do to get acres of space or ground. Ball is won in the midfield. Again, some gallant effort by Lichinga. Joao, who loses out. Laone. And very brave and putting a foot in anyway, hacked away. And the referee says, that is enough, young ladies. A job done, as both coaches will look on And look at moments where they could have maybe gotten the ball in the back of the net, but very equally balanced in the field of play. However, it is a Lichinga side that will feel confident about the progress they've made. On the other hand, Gaborone United, with chunks of the possession and playing the better football, pretty to the eye, knocking it about, and not able to get the ball in the back of the net. We've got to look at players like Yaone Modise. You've got to look at players like Jessica Maponga. They gave it the all, not forgetting Keitumetsi Ditebe. And just one change made by the coach Magaga, who came on. But business-like performance in the defense. Celebatso and Busang in no mood to give away any of the goals.